Breaking news. The navies of NATO countries are on high alert after Putin's ships were spotted participating in a sabotage plot. In the Baltic, Russian warships have been spotted in close proximity to submarine cables and wind farms, prompting heightened vigilance from the Swedish and Finnish navies. The Finnish media has reported that Swedish Navy Commander Eva Skog Haslam has expressed concern that Russia may attempt to sabotage the electricity networks of NATO allies in the region. The risk of sabotage against underwater cables and power networks has been raised after Commander Skog Haslam stated that they are convinced Russia has mapped the targets in some way. He also emphasized the need for a physical presence at the targets and command of all underwater operations to demonstrate Sweden's and Finland's commitment to self-defense. On Thursday, the head of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, announced that more than 98% of the combat vehicles promised to Ukraine during Russia's invasion and war had been delivered, giving Kyiv more firepower as it considers launching a counteroffensive. NATO Secretary-General Jens Stoltenberg stated that the alliance has supplied Ukraine with vast amounts of ammunition, in addition to more than 1,550 armored vehicles, 230 tanks, and other equipment. Additionally, more than 9 new Ukrainian brigades have been trained and equipped. To paraphrase what Stoltenberg told reporters in Brussels, this will put Ukraine in a strong position to continue to retake occupied territory. His remarks on Friday followed those of Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, who a day earlier claimed to have had the first known contact with Chinese leader Xi Jinping since Russia's full-scale invasion more than a year ago. A long and meaningful phone call. Western officials applauded Xi's move, and while it seemed to be well received by Zelensky, it did not appear to advance peace prospects. Russia and Ukraine have vastly different peace terms, and Beijing, which wants to boost its reputation as a global diplomatic power, has been silent about Russia's invasion of Ukraine. In a show of diplomatic solidarity against U.S. influence in international affairs, Xi Jinping visited Moscow last month. Taking back territory occupied by Kremlin forces would strengthen Kyiv's negotiating position if peace talks take place, and Stoltenberg said the 31 NATO allies were committed to bolstering Ukraine's military. The Ukrainian government views China's overture as positive. On Thursday, Prime Minister Denis Shmyhal deemed Xi and Zelensky's conversation to have been very productive. "I'm convinced it is a good beginning for our future relations," Shmyhal said after meeting Pope Francis at the Vatican. But the reaction from the Kremlin was lukewarm at best. Dmitry Peskov, a spokesman for the Kremlin, said to reporters when asked if the call could help end the fighting, "We are ready to welcome anything that could lead to the termination of the conflict in Ukraine and the achievement of all the goals set out by Russia." According to Peskov, the topic of discussion between the Chinese and Ukrainian leaders is the sovereign business of those countries and the issue of their bilateral dialogue. Despite the relative stability of the Ukrainian battlefield in this war of attrition, Russian forces have maintained their bombardment of Ukrainian areas, frequently striking apartment buildings and other civilian infrastructure.